I'll start with Moldova. I think the overwhelming message will be of one of huge congratulations to Maia Sandu on the very, very good, excellent, I would say, victory in Moldova, where people clearly chose the European path, where we could see that interference and intimidation do not work. We also need to realize that we need to be prepared to counter such threats against the complete instability of potential democratic results that would be interfered with. But Maia Sandu's message will also be very clear today. What's next? The campaign was run on the hope of enlargement, on the hope of EU membership. And therefore the European Parliament will be very clear in continuing to state that it is time, finally, to open negotiations with Ukraine and Moldova. And we need to do it by the end of this year. Enlargement is a win-win for the European Union. It is not charity. It is something that works for all of us. It is one that will make us more secure, one which will make us more strategically in control, and also one that we can really show that our people open the door to countries and their populations when they want to come in. Finally, on migration, I want to tell you that the European Parliament is working quite hard on the last remaining files of migration. We will wait to see, however, also the implementation of the pact that we voted on last year, how member states are working together with that, how the solidarity mechanism will enter into force, but also to make sure that this is something that we send a message that solidarity works, that member states cannot be left alone, and that the European Union needs to do more to help countries on the front line to challenge and to address the challenge. Okay? Well, majorities are always needing to be found. This is like in every parliament. It's a parliament that has 8 political groups. We have seen majorities that continue to work on a pro-European path. We will see the first legislative tests in the next few weeks and months on the omnibuses. And we will continue to work towards having those majority that would send a clear signal of what the citizens voted for. They want predictability, they want their lives to be safer, they want their lives to be fairer. Companies have asked us very clear to make their lives easier in order for us to keep jobs in Europe. And that is, I think, a working majority that we can have. But make no mistake, we need to work on it. We need to find compromises and we need to deliver. If we don't do that, then we will end up in a classic whose fault was it? And that's not what our citizens want and not what our citizens deserve.
We've seen drone attacks in Poland, here in Denmark. Do you think Europe is ready to handle those kind of attacks?
Well, I think the reaction leading up to this European Council yesterday and today's EPC has shown the absolute readiness of European Union member states to help each other, to show solidarity, to make sure that we can work together. But of course we have to see that we need to learn more, we need to be faster, we need to be better prepared, we need to defend, we need to deter, but we also need to detect. And I think we can learn a lot from Ukraine in its drone expertise, in also understanding that if there are threats, we need to be able to counter them.
Yes, but shouldn't you have known, you mentioned yourself, Ukraine, that's been going on for 2-3 years. Shouldn't you have known by now in Europe that this is a high threat?
This is a discussion that has taken place in many European councils so far. So we saw what happened in Romania, we saw what happened in Poland, we saw what happened in Estonia. These are also countries that have been saying we need to be prepared. And that is why the references to the drone walls, the works of our defense ministers on drone alliances, funding for drones is what is being worked on. Should we be faster? I'm always on the side of yes, of course, we should always be faster and always better prepared. But I think we've shown the capacity to react quickly, and that's important.